Okay, so today we're going to be looking at my Galaxy Note 10. This is not the Plus model. This is the 6.3-inch model. And I just want to make this, brief impressions video. I'm not going to call it a review. It's a brief impressions video. Not super high quality, but I want to do my part in YouTube. And just say that I feel like this phone is too small, and it's really kind of pointless. I've had Notes in the past. I had a Note 8, I had a Note 5, I had a Note 2, I had a Note 3. Then I went to the iPhone 7 Plus. Now I have a V60, which I'll show you in a second in comparison to this phone. But I just want to make this video also because I buy used phones. And I have done so for a while. I used to buy all my phones new, get them from the carrier. But that was back in the day when, each year you could see dramatic and significant updates to things. Now I feel like 2017 to 18 to 19 is marginal upgrades on phones and devices, and that's not a bad thing, but it just doesn't warrant me spending full price for a phone. Just starting with the looks of this phone, I think it looks great. It's a glass slab. I'm not a fan of curved edges. I think it steals from useful screen real estate. This is 6.3 inches. Beautiful display, bright. It's only 1080p, but really that's, to me that's a fashion over function thing. Really not a big deal. The fingerprint reader is excellent on this phone. As good as a under display fingerprint reader can be. It's not as fast as, a regular physical fingerprint reader that's on the back of a phone, but this is a very good phone. One thing I don't like is, like I said, the curved displays. Look at that. See, now I'm tapping the side of the screen because the edges are curved, but I don't know if you can see that, but the power button and screen on button is on the left side, which just makes no sense. Most people are right-handed. That's really annoying. The camera's good on the phone. You have your SIM card slot here. Sorry about the poor focus. You have your charging port here, and then you also have the stylus here. I'll go ahead and pull that out in a second. You have an always-on display, which I don't use, but I'll just show you the fingerprint reader. Activates really quick. I will say the fingerprint reader is a lot better than the S10 Plus to me. That's one thing this phone has going over the S10 Plus. I also feel like the cameras are better than the S10 Plus. And I like the way this phone looks. So, and it doesn't look super small here, and that's going to be a subjective thing. But here's it in comparison to my V60, which, does have a 6.8-inch display. And so it's going to be, a lot bigger because this one's 6.3 inches, and the bezels are a little bit bigger. But part of what makes this phone... Part of what makes this phone kind of feel smaller are the curved edges. I feel like with the flat display, you actually get to use 6.3 inches, whereas on this phone, you would get to use 6.3 inches. Whereas on this phone, this curved display, it's not very functional. It's a fashionable thing just to make bezels look smaller. And it's really annoying because one of my favorite apps is YouTube, and when I'm watching YouTube and the image is falling over the edges of the display, it does not look good. But just a comparison, like I said, this is a good phone, good batteries, very good speakers. Really like those. They have a rich sound. They may not be the loudest, but to me that's not a thing anymore. What's the loudest? What can fill a room? My thing is quality. If I'm holding it, a foot from my face, 6 inches from my face, and I can hear a little bass, I can hear a little mid, that's cool, and I like that, and I feel like that's the case. This is a very forward design. It looks more up to date than this design. LG kind of took this from the S10 Plus, which I don't think it's a bad thing, or the S10. This is a 2020 phone, so anyway, so I'm not knocking the aesthetics of the phone. It's just too small. It's a fast phone, really doesn't lag or anything like that. If you were looking to get this phone versus, say, an S10 Plus, I would say go ahead and go with the S10 Plus. They have the same processor, same amount of RAM. This has 8 gigs. That phone has a headphone jack, which I know those are going away, but you know, I feel like you kind of lose too much over the S10 Plus. The headphone jack, the micro SD card slot goes. This is 6.3 inches. The 1080 Plus is a 1440p display, and it's larger, and it feels a lot larger. Now, I will say the speakers on this phone are better than the S10 Plus. And I don't know, maybe I just had a version of the S10 Plus that, you know, randomly, you know, had speakers that weren't as good as the others, because I've seen reviews where they're like, it's about a wash, or people are playing the speakers and they sound about the same, but that was not my experience. Anyway, I just wanted to make a brief video. This is just an impressions video. I did use the phone. I had it for a while. Call quality's good, signal quality's good. It's a solid build. And then the compromises, they're not like life altering. 256 gigabytes is enough to not have to use, you know, external storage unless you're making a lot of videos. But just, you know, having all of this potential with the processor and everything, but the size being this small and being detracted from for the water with these waterfall or curved edges is just too much for me. Anyway, thanks for watching.